What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another exciting live stream. It's Thursday night. You guys know what that means. It's time for Pop Force 1. This week has been pretty interesting. A lot of speculation regarding a mystery box, I won't say scammer, but a certain problem in the community that has now come to light. We also have apparently some Funko Pop price increases on the horizon, amongst some other things going on. It's definitely been a wacky week for sure, but let's welcome in. Let's see who is in the chat. I know there's been some people here who got here early, so shout out to all of you guys. Let's start off the night strong here with a channel member anniversary. Oh my gosh, Mark, dude, 33 months coming up on almost 3 years as a channel member. Thank you so much. He says, happy PFO. Hope everyone's week has been great. I hope your week has been great as well, Mark. I'm so sorry that we don't get to talk as much as we normally do. Dave is here. What's up, Dave? Jennifer's in the house. Frank is here. I think I saw Anthony's in the building. Jeremy's here. What's up, Travis, Susan, Jetman? What's going on, everybody? So great to see all of these familiar faces. If you guys are new to Pop Force 1, welcome. Make sure you're subscribed to all three of our channels, as I'm going to bring on the other two guests here momentarily. We've got Travis coming in as a channel member now for 5 months. He says, happy Thursday. 5 months. That's amazing, Travis. Thank you so much. Oh, Yamil is here. What's going on? Jeremy, X Dark Ghost. Great to see you. Guys, make sure to keep blowing up the chat. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns that you want to bring to light, we will, of course, highlight them on the screen. Dave, oh my gosh, Dave coming in at half a year now. 6-month mark for Dave. He says, good evening, John, Vince, and Josh. Happy PFO day. How about that? Oh my gosh, Gus is here. What's up, Gus? And Travis, not only is a channel member, he has been so kind. He's actually gifted somebody a Slapshot Pops channel membership for 1 month. So shout out to that lucky person. Thank you so much, Travis, for your continued support and generosity. What's up, Gator? All right, without further ado, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to break down. A lot of craziness happening right now. Let's bring on the other two members, Vince and Josh. Welcome.
What's up? What's up, everyone?
First off, am I clear this week?
First off, we gotta take a moment here. We gotta commend Vincent. He figured out his Wi-Fi. It took 6 weeks, but we finally got him clear.
Bought a new camera. It was as simple as that.
And not only that, you have you got silverback brakes, right, in the background.
Well, that's been there. That's actually
no one's been able to see it.
No, so Luca was actually doing a short earlier because him and his friends went to Walmart. Walmart was tonight. Restock. So they had to pick up some packs, and I think he did a short while he was down here.
Oh, nice. Out hunting some cards there at Walmart.
We're trying. Listen, you guys think that it was tough to find Funko Pops back in 2020 and 2021? Go try to find some football packs of cards. It's impossible. We've been, now that he's driving too, we're both maniacs. It's fun though. It's fun to try to.
Well, why is that?
Call each other, text each other. I'm at this Walmart. I'm checking this one.
It's just demand through the roof right now.
Yeah. Demand is to the point where legit. So like a quick little card story, guys. Sorry. Like a blaster box is $35. A mega box is $55. They're legit selling these things $75 plus for the blasters. The megas are like 110. So they're selling them for double. And they're not even making them on the shelves. So I feel like if you want to get into something, there's some backdoor dealings is what I think.
Employees,
100%, because they are not even like, we're getting there, like the Pokemon people, like we always get there, and the Pokemon people get a little bit crazy. The sports car people aren't as crazy, but they're kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But like, there's not even anything on the shelves. Like, you can't even, they stock it up and it's not even there. So they're not putting the stuff out. So there's a mystery to be solved by somebody else, because I probably don't have time to do that. But there's probably a mystery to be solved.
So this is another thing that I wanted to talk about. We will get to that very shortly, X-Star Ghost. I know a lot of people are upset about that. We got quite a few messages regarding that. So we'll jump into that shortly. I figured before we get into all the chaos, I don't know about you guys, I've been a little overwhelmed by the feeling of some negativity. I know we had a lot of downer news this week, but I want to start out the show by just talking about some positive things that I still feel like we have in the Funko community and Funko collecting in general. Vince and Josh, you can feel free to throw in some things, but I know there's been a lot of people who are upset, particularly about the prices going up. and we'll get into the mystery box drama as well. But the mystery box drama doesn't really affect everyone because not many people, when you boil it down, not many people buy mystery boxes.
No.
The three of us buy mystery boxes, but it's an issue that's kind of, it really only hits a very small group of people, whereas the pricing of pops definitely affects all of us in some way. And I would still challenge anybody to find a hobby. I mean, Vince just brought up sports cards. Demand is high right now. You know, I'm very passionate about Lego. Lego has plenty of issues right now with it just being very overpriced for a lot of sets just in general right now, which just makes a lot of people shy away from that. But Funko still remains to be one of the most affordable hobbies with the most IPs and characters that I think you could want or find. So I still think that despite everything we're going to get into tonight, despite everything we're going to rip apart and you know, and be frustrated over and bond over the seemingly never ending drama that plagues this community, I still think that it's still awesome that we have this hobby and that we can partake in it for as little as $5. I think there's plenty of hobbies out there. You show up with $5 in a dream, the dream ain't happening. You're not getting there. You're not going to be able to collect. You're not going to be able to.
You know what it is too? I think it's like like I just stated that like you got to pay flipper prices right now for sports cards. So what happens? We buy less, you know what I mean? And I think what's going to happen with pops doesn't mean that you're less passionate about it. It means you're going to maybe instead of buying 3 this month, you have to buy 2. Do you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that it's going to kill, you know, it doesn't have to kill the hobby. It doesn't have to kill the fun. It just might make you a little bit more selective. I don't think it's, you know, unfortunately, I think just everything is just always going to keep going up, and it will price certain people out. But I think if you're budgeting anyway, I think that you just have to reevaluate.
I think this is a situation where a lot of people think they're getting priced out, but you don't realize that you're not. You just have to be more patient.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I think you just got to reevaluate your priorities at that point.
Yeah, are you getting priced out at retail? Like, hey, I don't have $18 or $17 or whatever it is for a pop anymore. I only have 15. Okay, so you're priced out of retail. You got to wait till you have points. You got to wait till you have hot cash. You got to wait till stuff goes on sale or clearance. Like, the companies are doing one thing, but companies will never be able to predict supply and demand. Just like with sports cards right now, there's a lot of demand.
Let me talk about sports cards real quick, so you guys have an understanding on this, because I used to collect big time, but the boxes like year to year, they're always around the same price. You know what I'm saying? Football is crazy to the point where, like, we bought a box of hobby stuff a couple weeks ago, $300, expensive. We did okay on the boxes, whatever. That next weekend, it was up to $350. Week after that, $400. Now those boxes are selling for about $500. Like, they legit go up. And this is from like the companies that you're buying them from. Like, it's just literally like the stock market. The boxes go up double the price over time. So talking about like pricing people out, and that's why they do breaks and all this stuff. And that's why there's a subculture to all that stuff, you know, and whatever. But, you know, really, I think that, again, what you kind of said, affordability wise, it might make you reevaluate your priorities. But if you only have a certain amount of budget to whatever your hobby is going to be, you're just going to make that now fit your budget. Like I said, instead of maybe getting 5, you're going to get 2, you know, or, you know, whatever which is
frustrating, but it's also okay, because you don't need, whatever hobby you're in, you don't need to collect everything.
No, and that's one thing I think us as pop collectors, you realize, you know, I didn't realize it at first, and I think most people don't realize that at first. I think that if I would have realized it sooner, or if they were more expensive right out the gate, maybe I wouldn't have amassed so much stuff right at the beginning, because most people go from like 0 to 100 like pretty darn quick. And then you start to realize, oh man, like I've either got a problem or I got to slow down, or maybe I got both. And then you kind of reevaluate. So I think this might just slow people into it a little bit more. And I don't think that that's going to be a bad thing, you know, and I'm not trying to like sugarcoat things. Like, price increases suck. Like, there's no way around it. It's just, unfortunately, where we're at.
I think the interesting thing, though, I've been watching some of your videos, Vince, with you and Luca, opening the packs and everything like that. And I like how you guys are now putting in some of the sold prices or eBay prices and stuff like that. I think that's important to look at, too, because just like anything else, just like buying all kinds of other things, like you're trying a chance at the Mega 101 of something, right? But really, if you just have a favorite player, go on and buy it, and you probably get it. Like autographs and like patch cards and all that stuff doesn't sell for that like crazy of prices right now. Who knows later on? These things are all limited in piece count. Like a lot of them have like $2.99 and things like that.
It's kind of like the NFT packs, Josh.
Yeah. I mean,
like if you want really just the physicals and you don't want to try at that like chance of that grail and doing that kind of thing, you know, it's a same kind of thing. And I think that, you know, Pops in general, it's going to kind of go the same way. You're just going to have to be a little more selective with because unfortunately, like we're at that point where everything is unfortunately going up, and you know, you're just unfortunately, I think it's just going to be that way.
But I mean, we had some great sellouts this week too on the Funko shop, so we haven't seen things like that sell out like they did, and some surprise kind of drops, like not knowing the drops are happening a little bit. You know, with some, so it's kind of interesting. I will say we had good news also on the NFT side with some surprises as well too. So that was really cool to see what they did with Drop Arcade, and they finally did something to push the needle to get it going again, because it kind of went stagnant there, and people were like, "Oh, we'll just wait." And now
I think that was smart.
Two different things to kind of keep things. One was a thanks for everyone that was already playing. Some people got the top 3 currently. Top 1 got a proto, which is awesome. So what's popping craze? That's awesome. That, you know, he already had the points in there. He kind of kept his place at first, and then 2 others got some packs, and then some random people that anyone that played could have got other packs. And I think that's cool that they did the commons now. Enters you into another chance at getting another proto and some other packs and stuff like that. So it's kind of spurred some excitement in that, and that's what you have to do. You have to spur excitement, right? Like as any kind of company and collectible and stuff like that, whether it be sports cards having that 101 or the chance of those packs, whether it be the Funko Shop drop that you don't know about that goes up, and then if you didn't get it at 4 a.m. when it popped up, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon when it popped up, you missed out on it. Or whether it be this NFT thing that spurs you actually like changing in to get points to have some extra entries into all these kind of things. I think, you know, that kind of stuff is what collectibles always need. They need some kind of excitement. They need something
fun to chase.
Yeah.
They need something fun to chase. Michael has a question. He says, I'm going to New York Comic Con 2025. I wonder how much the con pops are going to be. God bless you all. Appreciate you, Michael. It's going to depend. If there's limited pieces, it's probably going to be based on that limited piece pricing chart that Funko revealed. For regular con pops, ballpark $15 to $18.
Oh, they're going to be 20 because they're going to be in the stacks. Like
if they do, if they do the stacks, it'll be 20.
Well, but here's limited pieces will be more.
Here's the thing, though. If in regards to that, I think they're going to see how San Diego Comic-Con goes, because if San Diego Comic-Con goes poorly with that whole stack thing, I don't think people will want it for New York Comic-Con. We'll see. We still have another major con before New York, and there's.
I wonder how much that helped them as well, though, because I know in the past, I've like from last San Diego Comic-Con, last New York Comic-Con, so many damaged pops. I saw so many people complaining, you know, they're trying to buy stuff. I saw so few this time, like anyone selling stuff. I didn't see very many like go up that were for sale. I didn't hear a lot of problems about that. There's 1 or 2 here and there that are in the stack. You're going to get damaged pops no matter what, but without a protector, they're more likely to be just damaged just shipping them. I mean, they have to ship all these to a convention center. Convention center has to move them around. Who knows what else is stacking on top of things and moving, all those kind of things. Who knows, you know, what falls off the, you know, forklift or whatever like that. So I think it actually probably helped them have less damaged pops, because these are coming from the factory with the stacks. They're not coming from like Funko's warehouse and someone's putting them in stacks each one. They're just like the art series that came all in stacks. You know, they're just not wrapping them and sealing them. They're just having them in there. And I think hopefully that will help less damage pops, especially with that sense of like at a con, you know, because people don't want to buy those. People, you know, if you're gonna at the con, everyone's gonna keep passing those over or say nah.
I think it would be more in Funko's best interest to just sell their own stacks at the booth. If people really want a stack, they'll buy it. A lot of people are getting pops. Well, let's be real. A lot of people are getting pops at cons to immediately go sell them on another platform.
Unfortunately, I would say
50% probably.
I would say it's even over 50%. I would say it's more like 75% nowadays.
Well, it's mostly people taking them to Whatnot, Macari, eBay.
Yeah.
And then you also got to remember too, in the con lines, all the other major players at the con, they all have their own people in line. So they're taking those pops, bringing them back to the booths, upcharging at the other booths at that con. So there's a lot of factors. And then you have, you know, that measly very small percentage of people who are actually there as collectors who just want to get the pop, maybe to go get an autograph or to just enjoy it, take it home, add it to their collection.
So I'm curious, like everyone that got WonderCon stuff, I still have to unbox. I had some of my stuff open because it came from like Whatnot and that. So, but some of the stuff at WonderCon, how many people got damaged pops? I've only seen like 2 or 3. Like usually you see a million posts out there about people saying crushed stuff. I've seen like 2 or 3 that had some kind of damage on them. I think with the stacks, they've actually done a lot better with the shipping of them, less damage. I mean, I haven't even seen anyone show me a damaged stack yet. I don't know if anyone's seen a picture of a damaged stack, and that's
I haven't. I feel like that would be something
that's
somebody would definitely share.
Yeah, so
I feel like
would be interesting.
In general, I feel like last year Funko's shipping has gotten a lot better. Just shipping as far as damage and stuff. Gus has an interesting theory, which I'm thinking about it here for the last couple of seconds. You might be onto something. So Gus says he thinks that Funko may have raised prices for the limited pieces because of the tariffs, and because, you know, we have kind of known for a little while that this tariff situation was going to be an issue. So they could have done it to get in front of it. I
don't know.
I don't know if they did it specifically for that. It could have been a factor, though.
I think all their stuff was going up. And I think it's just like, if we're going to still produce these, we have to make sure it's still viable for us to produce them like that. Like, I think if you want to do these more often or have more of them at a con, say if you want to have 5 or 6 that are limited pieces, it's hard to do it. You're going to keep losing. You're going to end up losing money off of it at some point. You know, you're not going to gain it, or you're not going to just make as much. They are a business, so at a certain point, they're not going to make as much off of it. I think it will be interesting to see how some of these new ones play out long term, like the ones at WonderCon. I don't think anyone has been like super hyped about anything from WonderCon.
Well, most of it's talked about.
You know, it's been okay, but nothing crazy. I mean, even the biggest one that was sold all weekend on Whatnot, I watched several different streams. I pop in and I like to check out what's going on. That weekend was Kuma. But Kuma, if you want the non-con sticker, you could go on the Funko shop and buy it for $20, no problem. But people are willing to pay $60 to $80 for a con sticker all day. But the limited pieces, they weren't as willing to pay those higher prices, even though they cost more. They weren't willing to pay more. So the person that was flipping would make a ton off of buying a ton of Kumas all day long at the con. Just keep getting in line, buying more and more, and just selling those for $60 to $80. You're making $40, $50 at least off of each one, where the $40, $30 limited piece ones, you're not making much off of. You're making $10, $15 off of, because you're already paying.
I think they went off the NFTs. I think they saw that the NFTs are doing so well, so they see that there's such a high demand for limited piece pops, which I don't know why like it took them this long to actually like really figure it out. Like they've been doing limited piece pops for fun days. They've been doing limited piece pop drops for years. So now they just like woke up one day and they were like, hey, people really want limited pieces. We could charge a little bit more, and maybe
I think it goes back. Honestly, John, I think it goes back. There was a statement, and it's always stuck like in the back of my head that like a couple years back, during one of their like year-end calls or whatever, whatever they call those. I don't know what they're called, but I remember them saying that they were going to try to go after the secondary market or try to capitalize on the secondary market. I think that that's when that seed got planted. And I think that they knew that because there's more demand for some of these pops, that they're going to just charge more straight out the gate. And I really think that's when they decided that this was going to all go into play. Forget the tariffs and all that stuff, because if the tariffs hit, I think prices are going to go up again and higher than where they're at right now. I think that this was always going to be their move. This, not, over the last couple of years, I think they were moving to this point. I think that as collectors, I think it's okay. I prefer to pay $5 or $10 more to get some more limited piece pops. I'd like to see it happen more regularly on the Funko shop, like we've been saying now for a while.
Yeah.
But like I guess to a certain extent, like I'm okay with that as long as the quality is there. And I feel like, the stuff that they've been charging more for, I feel like it's worth it. The IPs, some of the IPs have been kind of weird, especially like WonderCon was really, and I'm not one of those people that get on and say, this thing sucks and all this stuff. I'm pretty positive for the most part. And I did not think it was the strongest lineup maybe ever, quite honestly. Like I thought WonderCon was
the spring convention, for whatever reason, is usually the
it's
weakest
always
lineup, but this one was particularly like low hype. It was
and speaking, just to get back on the soda train real quick, like the spring convention used to be like soda centric.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Started out. That was the first
100%.
one with sodas.
You're right, and we would always felt like they built that up. It always felt special because we were going to get sodas too, which was our limited piece kind of deal, especially over the last couple of years, because we haven't got a lot of that I can remember a lot of limited piece during like the spring conventions. Now last year we did, I know, and I'm sure there's a couple that I'm forgetting, but with that kind of excitement gone and the thrill of the chase type of thing excitement gone, and then you got a real lackluster convention. I thought just with really just wasn't like just a great lineup. So I guess it was not a weird time to have that increase in that level of whatever, but I think overall it's going to be positive. I like the idea of it, and we'll see how they execute it. I'm looking forward to seeing SDCC because I feel like they'll execute or take advantage of it there as well.
I think they missed out. They did like most of these are too high in number. Like they should have really done that price thing. The price fluctuation at New York Comic Con last year with the Funko Fusion
pops. Yeah.
I mean, all those are right now like $150 to $200 pops. I mean, that right there is like,
but they're actually doing it the wrong way. I'm okay with them charging, like what you said, Vince. I'm okay with them charging a little bit, but in regards to that statement that you brought up, and I do remember that we hadn't talked about it in a while, but I do remember they said they wanted to go after the secondary market. This is not how you go after the secondary market. This is how you force people who are real collectors to sit down and go, all right, this is what I want. I want a limited piece. All right, I'll shell out $5 for it, or $10 extra, or whatever it is. But you're going to have a portion of your customer base that's going to be pissed off by this. And they're going to be like, no way. Like, I want this item that's $15. If it goes for $500 on the secondary market, well, then good for me. Like, I want that same chance as everybody else, even though we all know in most cases it's not an equal chance. Like, people get certain tickets and other people don't. People get into the Funko booth, other people don't. If Funko really wants to go after the secondary market, they have to create essentially their own marketplace. They come up with their own app and they go, hey, this is Funko Central or something, or they come up with an app where they say, hey, if you want to apply to be a seller on this app, they create their own marketplace, their own rules, their own shipping standard, their own guidelines and everything. This is what you have to do to be a seller. This is, and anybody can buy and sign up for this app as long as you're a Fan Rewards member or something, right? And then they get a percentage of every sale. And that's how you take a piece of the secondary market, because then you don't care. If a pop goes for $5, you're getting 30 cents. If a pop goes for $5,000, you're getting $300 of that sale. Like, you take a percentage of every sale. That's how you hit the secondary market.
I feel like they just kind of like blew off the whole eBay partnership thing too. Like,
that's where I thought
they had a lot of hype about it, but then it was like like it's still, I guess, integrated with the Funko app, which no one uses anymore, by the way. But it's one of those things like you thought haven't sold. They didn't even sell through eBay in the last how many years? Because it was weird. They would sell through eBay, and then it would also drop on the Funko shop. Maybe it helped out international collectors. That's probably about it. Like with that piece of having a Funko shop kind of on eBay or whatever. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if it still has some kind of partnership or anything with eBay because I haven't seen them mention it. They don't have any collaborations at the booths anymore or anything like that. So I'm guessing that was maybe something they were working on and doing with some of the investment, like when that investment came from that group that was kind of part of eBay owning group as well too. But it's just kind of interesting because eBay is doing a lot of things with like verification of like shoes and other products and things like that as well too, but they haven't touched the pop market yet for any kind of verification or anything.
No, they haven't, have they?
So it's just interesting that it just kind of fizzled out. Like I don't know what they were doing with eBay, but it's gone, I guess. I mean, I haven't heard anything from them mentioned or connected to eBay at all anymore. No limited dropping on eBay only
I think that was going to be a tough relationship to build and turn into something that was a success because unfortunately eBay has had the worst reputation for the longest time with having fake Funko Pops, and that drives away a lot of people. Yeah. Drives away a lot of people. A lot of fake rails on eBay. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And there's actually, believe it or not, there's a lot of fake low-end pops too. There's like $20 pops that are faked. And it's like, why?
There are blacklight pops, and I'm not talking like just the carnage. There's blacklight pops an indecent amount that are faked, which is insane because most of those you can find at like Five Below. There's fakes of those, man. It goes deep, guys. It really does. Like, it is. I thought, and I've said this for years. Like, and I said it in our video the other day and that kind of thing. I'm glad that Funko, like, I would like to see the exclusive stickers or something still on the boxes, and I'd love that they're doing the holograms, and I'd like to see those shifted to the side or underneath or somewhere. But I'm glad that they're finally addressing that because that can be one of the most frustrating things of the hobby, honestly, is to have to deal with that kind of stuff. And they do need to put an end to it or try to put an end to it as much as possible. And I feel like they're finally taking steps. I mean, maybe 15 years later than they should have, but I'm glad that they're at least doing something about it and addressing that at this point.
Yeah. Evelyn, I really appreciate you looking. So thank you so much for doing that. Speaking of fakes, should we move into the main topic of conversation for tonight?
Sure.
And I want to approach this. I know a lot of people are upset. Some people are affected by this. I feel like a lot of people are kind of bystanders who just want to like either sympathize or just kind of toss their hat in the ring by just, being like, yeah, these people are bad, but it doesn't really affect me. So I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of give people some insight as to our experiences over the years collectively, like the three of us, by buying mystery boxes, dealing with a lot of shady companies, and understanding the red flags that these companies give off long before they are exposed. And I think the company that has been going around the last week is somebody that we have had lengthy conversations about backstage, and we knew was really doing something shady and skeptical for the last 2 years. So I'm actually impressed that it took this long for their shady business practices to come to light. But obviously, Vince, you guys were the ones who kind of brought this situation forward here. So if you want to give everybody who doesn't know what's going on, just a quick summary.
Yeah, so quick summary. I'll try to use as few words as possible. I mean, basically, we opened up a mystery box from Funky Bop. I mean, it's gotten out there at this point. Many people have already seen the video, but we opened up the mystery box from Funky Bop. And I remember I was like, this is our the first good box that we've got from them. I took the pops out of the box, set them on the table, and we walked out. Literally, we walked out the door right after that. I didn't look at them again because most of the stuff sits on our table down here, and that's it. Michael Funko 411 messaged and said, hey, basically, I think that those are not legit. You know, I've kind of been following this eBay page for a year now. Like I started a video, blah, blah, blah. You guys can go watch his video as well. And a lot of people have watched that. Michael did a fantastic job, by the way, putting all this stuff together. And you know what? It was a great example of what you just said, John. Like all the markings were on the wall. And again, I'm gonna reiterate it. Like I don't have proof that they were fake. John, you might be able to blend a little more at
I have some insight. I dug through my Google files and I found some stuff because Joanne and I took some notes when we had issues with them. So.
Beautiful. So, and we'll get into that. So basically, you know, and I said it right in the video, like the lengthy conversations that we've had before, you know, I'll be honest, like if we're being completely honest right now, and what I like to do, they've always had a questionable way of putting their boxes together. Forget fakes, forget fake grails and all this stuff right now. They would always include stuff that was overhyped, like FYE exclusives that literally you would see for $2.99. And listen, I don't think I'm saying anything out of turn.
It's on some of my videos. I
100%.
compared. I looked back. I went back and compared. I had ones that came up as like this pop was $5.99, buy two, get 75% at FYE. I saw that weekend before.
Right. So I mean, that writing was already on the wall. Then you lead to. Listen, a lot of the top hits that they use were used over and over. And I'm not saying that people didn't get them. I know for a fact a lot of people got top hits. Now, whether they're legit or not, that's not for me to say. That's not for me to decide because that's a different story. But like, really what bothered me is the response. And the response that I got from him was, you know, if somebody reached out to me and said, hey, Vince, I think you put something fake in my box, like the first thing I'm thinking is, holy crap, I apologize. How would that happen? Send me some pictures. Let's figure this out. Like he didn't really ask for any pictures. He didn't ask for proof. He just came in with this long statement and showed me all the boxes that were sealed that I have no idea. Like who am I to figure out numbers and stuff like that? What really sent me over the edge is the defense of I obtained a master case of a Funko exclusive that was only sold by Funko, not Funko distributors. This was only supposed to be sold by Funko. For me, it's super questionable at that point as a business to be able to obtain a master case of something that was supposed to be to a con. Like, for me, that's why I'm done. Forget fakes and all this stuff.
Well, that was one of the red flags. Just going off.
Yeah, I mean, it's
going off of your
insane.
video. So Funko does not sell master cases of con exclusive.
No, of course not, right?
First thing. Also, did you notice? I don't even think you noticed in your own video. Did you notice that they said that those pops were exclusive to 2020 Fun Days? 2020 Fun Days didn't happen. Those pops weren't even released in 2020. They were released in 2021. So there was that on top of those boxes as well. And the third red flag is saying that they had to sign an NDA with Funko. Funko would not make you sign an NDA for product. If they sell you product, they sell you product.
It definitely, listen, we know it.
Very sketchy. So there's so many red flags just based off of their own response.
And you know, I said it. I said that too. Like we didn't do it. I know Michael, I seen him posted in here and he did a follow-up, and I'm not saying it. We didn't do a follow-up video to try, like, because listen, I talked to a lot of people through the last week, and I heard, because he's talked to several people, that I got back and I think he was trying to make accusations towards us. Like I was doing this for what? Like what was I going to gain?
Plus mystery boxes that you've opened over the last 5 years. Vince, that's just calculating one box.
Yeah, and I don't think I was going to become like a millionaire off exposing this. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't do follow-up videos.
If we wanted to take him down, we could have taken him down years ago, because the video that I remember I told you guys about our experience. So Joanna and I bought 2 mystery boxes from Funky Pop. Now, this was after we had a bad experience with them on Whatnot, which I will also share with everybody because I feel like there's some valuable insight there. But we bought some mystery boxes from him after he was kicked off of Whatnot, and we pulled a fake pop. And in the other box, we pulled a 2 pops, and it was under value. And there was a note from them admitting that the box was undervalued, and it said reach out to Eric to like square up on
Venmo you some money. I heard other people say that.
We were so pissed off at that instance, and this was in 2022, beginning of 22, somewhere around there, where things were positive. We were a smaller channel. We didn't want to call out anybody, kind of similar to the stuff you and Bree said in your video. We didn't want to point the finger at anybody, but we were pissed off enough to be like, I'm not going to post this video on the channel. And we shared with everybody in our group chats at the time, like, hey, this is what happened. Don't buy from Funky Bop. So at the bare minimum, he's not going to get business. And like the people in our community are not going to get scammed. And we said the same thing when we had bad run-ins with Jazzy, and even when the Gem Pop situation was really sketchy. But we have the footage somewhere on an SD card. If we really wanted to, I'm sure we could find it. But so there's that. Now with Funky Bop, with that situation, so a lot of people don't know, they were actually kicked off of Whatnot for selling unauthentic pops. Now, which pops they were and where they got those pops, it didn't matter, because at the time that was actually a really big deal, because Whatnot was not kicking off very many Funko sellers. So to be able to get kicked off in such an early time for having fraudulent pops on Whatnot was not good, and it must have been really bad. And we knew one of the people who had been sold a fake pop by them. They sent us pictures of it, and we were like, yeah, it was kind of similar to Kelser Jelly said they got a fake ghost face from him. Like, it was a really obvious fake. It was one of those, like, Joanna and I just looked at it right away and we're like, yeah, it's fake. I want to briefly just give some insight directly to these 2021 Fun Days boxes, because I was actually there they had a mega Whatnot live stream where they sold 40 of these shoe boxes with the 3 Freddies and everything. They had 40 of them that they got. Now, it made sense at the time because they were buying them up from everybody right after they dropped. It was a virtual drop, right? And we were in the stream, and they were ripping them and they were selling them, and they sold every single one that came out right up until the end. And there was the last pop that they pulled was the one that we hadn't seen yet. And at the time it was one of the more desired Freddies. Keep in mind, in 2021, we hadn't had Freddies in a while. So our expectations and our standards for what was an exciting Freddy was very low, because we hadn't gotten Freddies in 2 years.
Might have been Ping Pong Freddy or something.
Well, I remember exactly which one it was. It was the metallic Freddy as Freddie Mercury, because everybody thought it was a double Freddy. So it was all like kind of fun saying the name, right? Funky Bop pulls it. I don't know his real name. I don't even know if that guy is Eric. I don't know who Eric is, but the guy who pulls it, and everybody goes nuts because he himself wanted that Freddy. We were like, oh, keep it. People were, you couldn't tip at the time, but people were, telling him left and right, like, just keep it. We'll buy it, like, run it, and we'll let you keep it. Didn't matter. He auctioned it off, but he said something very key. He goes, we have to sell these all right now because we're not getting any more. So and I'm not saying that maybe down the road they could have bought some more of these sealed boxes. However, to have, how many did they claim they had sealed?
40?
40.
I think 40.
Another 40. So they had another 4. Like, to have 40 more sealed ones here in 2025. Nah, that's not true whatsoever, because we've gone to cons and you guys have probably seen them too. New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con. You might see a sealed one tucked away on one of the shelves at Fugitive or Toy Temple or one of these things, but they got like 1 or 2 that somebody might have kept sealed, but nobody has 40 of these things.
Listen, if you do have 40, because they could have 40, it seems a little weird to me. I'm not going to say sus. I'm not going to say shady. I'm going to say it's very weird to have 40 sitting here sealed in 2025. Are we cracking these open for mystery boxes? Like, I just don't like the way, personally, what I don't like, and why I told everybody I will no longer be purchasing. Forget all the fakes aside. Forget all the proof of all this other stuff. You guys can make the decision on that. If a mystery box company is sourcing sealed Fun Days boxes for their mystery boxes, like, I'm out. That does not sound right to me. That doesn't sound good to me. And that just is bad business practices as far as I'm concerned. That was actually more damning, honestly. If you would have like just come straight out and said, I apologize, maybe there was a couple fakes, somehow they get slipped through the cracks. Listen, it's hard to put on mystery boxes. I get it. Like, things can happen. Like, Damage could go through every once in a while. I totally understand that. But when you're telling me that you got a sealed case and a master case of Fun Day box, that's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me.
I think the biggest thing for me, Vince, is like, and I've seen him post, like, I guess, screenshots of whatever conversations with you guys or whatever.
Yeah, my email to him.
You know, whatever he posted, sent.
Yeah.
But I think it was funny because I'm like, no point at all. He says, send me some pictures.
No, that's my point, Josh.
No point at all. He never said, you know what? Why don't you just send me those back? I'll refund your money. Because if they're worth X amount of dollars, which they're worth, like, I remember commenting on that video, Vince, because I was surprised. I was like, that's the best, like, Funky Bop.
I said the same thing.
Anyone I've ever seen open one on a video pull
I said the same thing
stuff for that price point, you know? And I was like, well, why didn't he? He took like offense right away. He did not like he went after it, and I don't know. Like, I don't care who it is. Like, you've bought more than one box from him. You're not a one-time customer.
Oh no, I bought multiple.
You bought multiple boxes. You also are a channel that bought multiple boxes. I would just say you buy the most out of probably all of us. You buy more than me. I know that.
There was no common courtesy, like customer is always right, or them saying like, hey, you've been a loyal customer. You know, they didn't give you any sort of benefit of the doubt or any politeness.
That's what, and listen, and I said it in their video, and I stand by this 100%. He could have told me right then and there that he was going to refund all my money, and I told Michael the same thing. I said, just as a behind the scene thing, because I know that Mr. Eric also put out a thing that said 2 YouTubers dropping a video on the same day. I asked Michael, please don't post it until I hear what he has to say. I want to hear his side of the story before we say anything, because I want to see, like, stuff happens. Like, things something could have happened where he didn't know any better, and it just went out there. When I got like a canned response, like in detail on, I didn't question the man's like business practices right out the gate. I just said, and you guys could read my email because he posted it. I asked, I think I got fakes here. Like, can I get my money back? Because I got the originals and they don't look right. Like, these two just don't look right.
Well, I think Josh made a joke like your Freddy's had a tan or something.
Yeah, exactly. It looks completely different. And now I went back and watched your video, Vince, when you initially pulled them, and I'm like, yeah, I can really tell because I can see the other Freddy in the background of your video, and I can see what a difference it is that far away from you, let alone when you show them close up together.
And again, one of them had a different sticker on the bottom. The MJL one was an MJH, one was an MJL, and one of the stickers was different. So again, weird, but
even if this is for some reason not a fake, even if it's an error or issue or factory no, I'm just saying, if it's a factory reject or whatever it is, you make it right. As a person, I have to make that right, or I'm going to lose my business, or I'm going to get negativity spread about me.
Well, here's the thing, Josh. Like, he didn't make it right with Vince, and now he's going to lose his business, unfortunately.
Well, and again, I still would have said regardless if he would have made it right. I mean, I still would have done because it's just.
But I think it would have been a lot
because talking to Michael, there was too much other stuff too.
Well, that's a separate thing because you are a creator. You put out videos on the internet, and we have a community here.
I felt like I had a responsibility.
You have a responsibility and a due diligence to our community. If you were just Vince, guy who doesn't make videos, who just opens up boxes at home, you know, then
maybe you feel different, right?
You have no audience to share unless you're walking your dog. You say, "Hey neighbor, you buy mystery boxes. Don't buy from a Funky Bop." You don't have an audience or anything. So because you have an audience, and that's why, like, I think I saw Colin said unrelated to anything, but I guess you can say at least they weren't intentionally juicing the mystery boxes.
We never got anything juiced ever.
No.
With mystery boxes.
I can say that.
No, you can, and you've had. I will say this though, Vince, out of the three of us, he has taken the most hits, man, in terms of not rail hits. He's taken the most like L's when it comes to mystery box companies.
John, I'm glad you said that. You know why? Because again, a little bit of insight over the years. Could we have played in the drama thing? And like me and Josh, especially with Bands for Arms. Do you guys remember we had the conversation? I think Jim was still, and we were debating whether we said something or not. And I basically straight out said if we could just not talk about it because it was already over. Like everybody, the scam had already happened. We lost multiple hundreds of dollars with that one.
I will say I was gathering evidence on that one on all the people that have not got boxes because I finally got my boxes. And I never opened them for any kind of video. Shannon and I just sat there. We opened them. We actually donated everything we got to our next charity auction after that. Everything we got from those boxes, we put in our charity auction. Because I was not going to give him any time of the day. But the problem was I was asking around who was still waiting for boxes because I knew people in our community were. I was ready to go to the news channel with a list of people in his local area and say, hey, this guy's scamming people because he still had a real physical location as well.
Yeah, that one was
I was going to do, you should do a fraudulent report on like fake. And then the autograph thing came out. And then now he's a MTV biter or whatever.
You know what my biggest issue, like just bringing up, I don't want to spend too much time talking about Bands for Arms, but my biggest issue with Bands for Arms was like, you know, whatever. He was scamming people out of mystery boxes. Right. Yeah, I just hated, like, I think there's a special place. I'm going to say, I think there's a special place in hell for people who use charity, especially military charities, as like their business model or like this stand for like, hey, look at me, I'm so great, I'm gonna donate to, you know, Wounded Warriors, or I'm donating to USO, or like all these places. Like there are people that struggle every single day from real world disabilities and PTSD, and there's people that lose their lives, and then the family members got to continue on, and you know, you can't replace these people. And it's the fact that like there's people out there like this man. I just and he claims he was in the military. Like, well, it gets even worse. It gets even worse. Joanne and I did some background, and we do not think that based on the trajectory of his career, we do not think that he was honorably discharged as a Marine. He was in the Marines, but I don't think he had. There's something there. There's a lot of
pull those military records are pretty open for people.
I feel like with that,
but I don't care. Like
there was a lot of things there.
Well, I have. That's my biggest issue with him. Like, don't drag the military stuff. Like, if you're gonna be a shady businessman, just be a shady businessman. Don't drag the military stuff.
I mean, that was
everything else into it. It was just awful.
Yeah, that was one of those that was a scam. I mean, straight out scam. That was like that sucked at the time, and we were all new at the time when it first happened. By the time it all came out, like it was over a year later. Like it really.
But like Vince, you've taken L's, not even just from companies. You've taken L's. Like you got the top hit, Captain Rex from Pop King Paul's mystery box that was broken like that. Then Pop King Paul is like a known mystery box guy, like not a scammer or anything that we know of. That, you still got the mystery. You guys still got the top hit, and he didn't replace it. Did he?
Yeah, but I never even said it, John. That's on me. I never
said anything. Do it. He didn't say anything.
I didn't say nothing.
Like that's
he would have made it. He has made it. Like there's so many people that are good business people that made good choices that we have worked with. Like I will say that there's so many people that have righted wrong, and they could know us or not, but they made the right decision. And I think we try to follow that practice as well on our whatnot and everything else that we sell and do. We try to follow the same thing we expect someone else to do for us, we do for them. Like we do for our sellers, maybe even above and beyond that sometimes, and all those kind of things. I mean, Zach hit it on the point. The Nerdy Steve thing was insanely crazy.
About
so many people. And that was my first one. I did a big video on because I was
on the thumbnail.
Like
Josh got nailed on that one.
Affected by that. Like I was like out probably almost $1,000 worth of product that I had pre-ordered and done and bought and all these because the person just took the money and run. And then they started selling everything under a fake name on Macari and bulk and all these things. And there was so much drama with that, and I tried to go after that person in the state of Nevada. I submitted.
It's so
that's not going to go anywhere.
Other things like that you can submit to the state about any issues, like especially that, because it's stealing. It's like, you don't get your product. It's a fraudulent cause. That is a true scam.
Yeah,
you never got a product. You never got anything. And he owes a lot of people money, and he stole it. And it was hard to get back because it was after the point of like most credit cards, and that would allow you to ask for it. Yeah. So I learned my lesson that way. But I kept records, like Bands for Arms. I remember having all my box. I had an Excel spreadsheet.
I did too.
I remember sending it to him and saying, "Hey, you need to get this right, or I'm going after someone else next. Like I'm going to the next step if I need to." And it's saying,
I should have done that. And I
disappeared. That's what they do. I mean, we got Gem Pops,
for sure.
We got Jazzy. We got people that have just like typically they just get a bulk money at the last point and disappear.
I mean,
Jazzy was a unique one because she tried to be like a community 4-person front runner. She went to $7 a pop and said, "Hey, we got to get all these people like relief packages." I actually thought what she did for that was really commendable. And so when I heard that
you know what though,
Jazzy's another story.
You know what I think it is. This is just the truth. Listen, when it comes to people's livelihoods, and even I told Bree the same thing. I don't want to bring anybody down. I'm not looking to bring down Funky Bop. I'm not looking even to do that because really, everybody has to make their own decision. And I felt like it was necessary as doing this for as long as we did. And honestly, I've been taken for most of this stuff. Like what you said with Pop King Paul, okay, a damaged pop comes in. I give people the benefit of the doubt because I know I've put mystery boxes together. If somebody gets something broken, I want them to reach out to me. But if they got something broken for me, it's not because I intentionally did that. And I treat people the same way I want to be treated. That's just the way I want people to be. Hey, I got something broken. I understand things happen, and I will make it right because there's people that are probably in the chat.
That's the difference, though. These other companies are not making it right, and that's why that's their ultimate downfall.
I totally agree with you, and even with the Jassy thing, and even with Gem Pops, I don't know if they had ill intent when they came into the community. I really don't believe that. I think that people have good intent, but unfortunately, life, when you're handed certain situations, people get desperate, and when people get desperate, they go to certain they become people that maybe they wish they weren't. Sometimes it's true colors coming out. Sometimes it's just the world trying to figure things out. I don't throw a lot of judgment over people, even when they scam me. And I don't have that hatred. I don't get the same. And listen, my wife, I love her. She's the exact opposite of me. And I don't think that that's wrong either, because she's fire and brimstone when it comes to that kind of thing. When somebody takes advantage, I always try to see the good in people, and I always try to give the benefit of the doubt. And like I said, even in this situation, when I tell you guys I didn't want to do that video, you don't understand. I did not want to do that video at all. That was the first time that I actually felt like I don't feel like filming today. That was the first time that I felt that way, because I don't like to have to be the bearer of that kind of thing. I did feel the responsibility because I know listen, in my heart of hearts, something is going on, and it should not just be the way that it was. So, it's the reason why we did what we did and had to say something about it. And again, I want everybody, and I'll be honest, I started reading the comments, not just on our video, but on Michael's video. And then I saw the comments that, because Funky Bob was, because I don't know if he wanted us to say something else, and maybe he was waiting for tonight for us to say something else. I don't really know. But, I've read all the other people have come to pretty much the same conclusion that we came to. So I think it's pretty obvious what's going on. But, again, the whole thing, it sucks. I hate that this stuff comes up. But like you said, yeah, we got Nerdy Steez. There's been Gem Pops. There's been, unfortunately, with Jassy.
I mean, he hasn't taken anyone's money and run, at least, at this point. But I will say it's just bad it's bad business. It's not like it's becomes to the point where if you're not taking care of your customers, if you're not also like all of us have noticed there was a terrible downfall of his mystery boxes for a while. Like I've never like really enjoyed any of them. I had one where I had a redeem this. It was a larger pop, so I get why it wasn't in the box. But he didn't have the pop when I went to redeem it. He's like, "Oh, I'll give you $50 credit towards the mystery or towards my."
I hate that. I hate that.
My,
regardless
website.
of the
I'm like,
box
okay,
size,
like what
like,
am I gonna do? Like, okay,
all the pops
I'll
should be
take
in the
that,
run.
I guess. I don't, but then I have to buy another box, and you know, the one box I will say I've ever had, I was okay with, and it was actually was a soda one, but I think it was like his first soda one ever, and I don't know if he knew like what we were looking for. Like we knew like it was a decent box that was put together, but so many of them, it doesn't calculate how he's making money off of these unless he's putting out like weird lower price, like way over advantage. Like you can't go on Gemini and buy like all their bulk stuff and throw it in boxes and send those boxes out to a bunch of people. And I watched Funko 411's last video, I think he did with Gem Pops. He got very similar, or not Gem Pop, but with Funky Pop, very similar pops that I did, like in one of the boxes, like some similar. And the rest I've looked, and I remember seeing all these on Gemini's websites and in the bulk 6-pack stuff, like all this stuff, which I get you sourcing stuff, but it doesn't look good for a mystery box company to do that, because then it becomes no one wants to buy your boxes. And then you have to throw some bigger hits in, and then it's going to cost you more, and then all kinds of weird stuff. And it's a slippery slope with that, because if you give everyone all the same kind of, it's going to be some losses. There's not going to be always great things, but I think it's a good mix. And I see that with right now, I would say the two best mystery box companies.
I mean, really, there's only two.
Are Boomloot and Pop King Paul.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately,
it's because why? They don't buy stuff like that. They buy people's collections at a discounted whatever they're willing to buy. Someone's 100, 1,000 pops, 100 pops, whatever they're buying from them. They're buying that collection and then turning it into mystery boxes. And they actually pay pretty well. And I think Boomloot, if you're local to California, they pay like 60%, but they don't buy any pops that are worth less than $25.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they buy mint pops.
And they have, and when they don't, they put together great imperfect boxes, which aren't that imperfect.
Fantastic. They really are.
So, and they show the value for it. They understand it. I think that's what it takes to make a good mystery box. And we put together, I know we all try to put together mystery boxes we would like to when we put together. I love watching people opening my mystery boxes and become excited. And not everyone's going to be excited about everything, right? Like people are going to pull stuff they don't collect or they don't want.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure people walk away happy. I've always done that, whether it's whatnot, whether it's a box on our website, whether it's whatever. I'd rather people walk away with something happy, with some kind of moment, because that's what I want out of a box. And I think if you're just looking to make a quick buck with mystery boxes, it's a bad place to get into, because you
could tell.
Oh yeah, no.
You could tell when you are. Let's put it
so that way. I wanted to bring up Smile World, because I would throw Smile World into the mix with the good mystery boxes as well. When they do, they don't do them as regularly as they normally do. But yeah. Joanna and I pulled a fake pop, believe it or not, from Smile World. It was another video that we did not air just because we didn't want to put it out there, and we didn't want to smear Smile World's reputation for.
Did you reach out? I bet you they took care. I mean, because
we reached out, and
Jonathan,
I was on the fence, and Joanna was like, "No, we're gonna reach out," and then I was like, "No, we should. Yeah, this is a very questionable pop." So we reached out. Curtis. So I want to share. I hope he gets good.
Is Ralphie or Smy? What one?
No, Smy.
Okay,
Jonathan.
So. Oh, Jonathan. Sorry, I was thinking.
Yeah. You're thinking Ralph.
Jonathan from Smy. Yeah, sorry. I said Curtis. I saw Ralphie's the other day. Jonathan from Smy World, no hesitation, immediately gave us a refund. We sent him the pictures and everything, and he was like, "Oh man, I didn't." It was some weird Lord of the Rings pop that we didn't even know had been faked or whatever. No questions asked. He gave us a refund, and he told us to keep the rest of the pops in the box. And then we told him, we said, hey, we're not airing this video, just to let you know. And he was so grateful. He was like, and he even told us too, he's like, no, if you need to put it out to get the content and let people know, please let them know that I'm making it right. Like that was the customer experience that you should be getting with anybody, not just people with the channel, but with anybody has a run-in with a mystery box company. But to piggyback on what Josh was saying too, and this kind of goes too with what you were saying, Vince, we have a lot more at stake as creators, because we get up in front of the camera, we show our face and everything. Like our brand, our reputation is on the line all the time, 24/7. So we have an even bigger responsibility to make sure that you guys in the community know about these bad eggs so that you don't get burned. Because here's the thing. What's the biggest thing that people say causes them to sell their collection or leave the hobby? It's not Funko. It's not them putting out a pop they don't like. It's not Funko raising their prices by $3. It's people getting fake pops. That's the number one reason why people leave this community. So that's why we have to do streams like this. That's why we have to talk about this. And that's why, looking back, I kind of wish we had posted this Funky Bot video, because maybe this could have been avoided and this could have happened 2 years ago instead of happening now. But I think moving forward, like, everybody in the community needs to just hold mystery box sellers to a higher standard. I think that we are that higher standard. Like, the three of us have put out good boxes. You show everything that's in the run. You include protectors. You make sure that if you can find the top hits, if you know that somebody posted a video with your top hit, you share it out. If somebody just bought it and they posted a picture on their Instagram, you share it out. So you can say, hey, the top hits out there. There's no question, because that's another big thing that we've seen over the years too, that, like, where are the top hits? And that was what was going on. I won't get into that, but there's a lot of shadiness with, people that live with each other and mystery box companies sharing top hits and everything. And that's always questionable and stuff that you don't want to see. But I think that we have that higher standard because we have channels. But I think that people in general, regular mystery box companies in general, without YouTube channels, without followings, without having to put their face in front of the camera, they should have that higher standard. And it's just unfortunate that we're in a time here in 2025 where we don't have that many mystery box companies, and the ones that we do have, most of them suck. And then that's why, Joanna, I know it's boring. I know people have said, why do you always open Boom Loot mystery boxes? But that's literally all we have. Like,
I mean, I wish, like, Smai did more consistent boxes. The one thing I wish Jonathan would get back to, he really needs to get back to picturing some of the hits in the box. Because that determines what I want to go after too. Like, even with a Boom box, whether it's $125 box or a $200 box or a $60 box, I want to see at least what could be in there. Because if there's nothing of interest to me, I'm not going to be excited about opening it. Not the chance of something. Do I want to spend that money on it? Same with Pop King Paul's boxes. There's plenty. I see that, like, I already have everything in there, or I have the things I want in there at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's
want to go after.
It does get hard as you listen. I think personally, for me, I think it's a fun way to build a collection. I think it's a fun way to do that. But you can't. I think you can get such a bad taste in your mouth with certain, especially over the last 5 years now, since we've really been heavily in that. Pop King Paul, Boom Loot, Michael, obviously, and I'm not just saying this, but, like, legit, Michael always packs value like crazy into his boxes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I would
that
add
crazy top hit.
Yeah, I would add Michael's
one solid boxes always. Like, he knows how to put a good mystery box together.
Well, because he buys mystery boxes and he knows what he likes, and I think that's one of the things that you learn, is especially when you're putting together a $60 to $100 box or whatever. It's different when you're buying a $12, $15 box. I don't expect anything.
No, your expectations are very, very low.
But I think with the $60 plus box, especially anything over $60, I would say $50, $60, anything over that, something kind of in there, not just like everything off the clearance aisle. Let's fill it up. Like, and also, I don't want all brand new pops that I can go buy in the store. Like, if I wanted to, that's why it's very different. I would say like Mystery Girl is another company that's out there that for anyone that wants to buy a cheap mystery box that you don't have to have any expectations for, and you have a chance at something really big. Like that's a perfect thing, $15 or whatever like that. But I think there's a lot of other things that just I mean, the mystery box game has been, you know, a crazy thing over the last, and it's hard. It's not an easy thing. The people that do it well, the people that do it the best, buy collections from people and put those and buy and source their collections so they can build mystery boxes. That's what they're going after. And they're not just putting mystery boxes together to make weird value out of what they can find at stores or buy clearance and try to put mystery box together off of one hit or two hits or three hits or whatever it is. They're putting together mystery boxes off of a bunch of stuff they bought from somebody's XYZ's collection and saying, hey, I'm going to make a really cool, you know, Disney mystery box because I just bought a Disney collection and I'm going to put it all together and do those kind of things. So, you know, you have to have fun. I think low risk mystery boxes, like if it was $12 or $15, no one's going to talk anything about those.
No, and if you do what Teresa did, then you'll be talking
$60, the $120, the $200, the $400, the $500 mystery boxes that you're putting out. It's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, Riley, we actually think PPG has gotten worse. So feel free to not pay for PPG because they clearly.
God, I feel like it's everybody.
What I don't know. A lot of the pops that we've been scanning, they haven't been updated. I mean,
like has it ever been good? Like, you know what? I was actually surprised today. In today's video, we got a pop that I thought for sure was just going to be completely out of whack. Like, I'm like, this pop just came out 2 weeks ago. Like, this is just going to be inflated. Man, I went to eBay. I think that PPG was actually a little bit low. Like, they haven't caught up.
That's the problem too.
Well, but it's both ways.
Yeah, no,
you're that are higher. They're marked higher than they should be. And then there's all these pops on PPG. We found a few. There were like Joanna even brought one up. She's like, this pop's selling for like $200 and it's like $45 on PPG. I'm like, yeah, I know, because they haven't updated it.
I think that is, you know, to get that amount of price points. I don't know what they're ever going to be able to do to really get it to, you know, it's unfortunately the best thing that we got
out there. You can't.
That's all that we got.
Yeah.
Sodas are the worst. Like, sodas
are really bad. Sodas are really bad because the commons are way too high and the chases seem way too low.
Chases are less than the common sometimes. I'm like, how does that even work? Like, that doesn't work. No.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, so Wayne had a comment. So we've purchased several small portions of Wayne's collection here and there. So I'm not putting Wayne on the spot. He technically brought it up, but I have one of the pops, unfortunately, that he sent over to us. He did not know that it was a fake. No. And this is a fake San Diego Comic-Con, Steve. There's a lot of fake Stranger Things pops now because the final season is about to come out. So people have gone back and they've faked.
What are the tells on that, John? Is it the I looked at the eyes real quick and they seem to be matte.
So yeah, it's so bad. Like the darkish, the dark shadowing on the eye right there. You can tell the stickers. I don't know if you guys can tell through the camera, but it's the wrong shade of purple for the San Diego Comic-Con. Another thing that you can tell on this one is it's hard to it's going to be hard to tell on camera, but the font of the numbering of 2017 is actually the wrong font. Once again, it's something that, like, I wouldn't be able to tell that off my eye. I had to take one of my 2017 San Diego Comic-Con pops and compare. And then the whole box, like, once again, it's another thing. Like, the box quality is off. Like, this is way too much of a newer pop. It's a newer feeling box. And then, of course, you know, the Stranger Things logo is not the correct shade and everything.
Yeah, so, and the blood is also typically the blood looks a little bit off on those kind of pops.
Like you said, that's the easiest way to tell is next to a legit one. Yeah. I think, you know, with Vince, what you did, it's so easy. Like I said, I like had to screenshot it because I was like, the Freddy, both those Freddys have a tan, and it's like, it's just insane how crazy of a difference they are. And, you know, I mean, at first I just thought it was like maybe like when I watched the video again, your older video, the one you pulled it, I was like, oh, maybe the lighting was off. No, like I can tell now.
No, you could tell right away when I went back and watched again. I noticed, right? You know, unfortunately, when we're doing the video, we're not even looking at them.
Just other Freddy's, the tone on them and everything like that too.
Yeah.
Compare it to 15 other Freddy's from that year. You know, you could tell as well too. Like that's the thing, is like those ones you can't compare to, and who knows what happened that year, and you never know where some of these, you know, like things that come, whether they're fakes or offs or factory rejects or whatever happens, like you don't know too, like especially, I don't know if you were ever sent. I saw in the conversation that was posted, there was supposed to be an invoice sent. I don't know if an invoice was ever sent.
No, we got nothing. No,
it showed you where they came from, but I was curious.
We only got that one response, and that was
it. If they came from a company in the United States, a distributor in the United States that we all know, or overseas distributor as well too.
Maybe the NDA wouldn't allow that. I'm not sure.
And maybe that's what. Yeah, he's waiting for confirmation on that too.
So Wayne, I don't want you to beat yourself up, and this goes to a lot of you guys out there too. Like,
no, you can't. Trust me.
You're gonna buy. You're gonna have a fake in your collection at some point, and you know, we could have a fake in our collection. Like, they're getting really good, number one. And if you don't know, you don't know. There's a lot of people that come into this community, and actually there's somebody that messaged us like 3 weeks ago. They said they purposely buy fakes, and this always blows my mind. They purposely buy fakes because it's cheaper than buying the real thing, you know, when it comes to the mega grails, which I hate that mentality, because you're actually giving these people money. They're gonna then get the money, and they're gonna have a successful fake pop business, and that just encourages more fakes to be on the market. So I hate that. But at the same time, like, Wayne, don't beat yourself up. This was an accident. It's not your fault. But now, like, we can get this out there, you know, especially in our group chats and stuff. And that's why it's awesome that we have so many people in our community. We can let people know, like, look what we came across.
This
like,
is what you see. Circle it. You know, like, these are the issues that you can look out for. I think that's hard. Like, it's even harder on the older pops, that there are some different manufacturing times on. Like, I know SpongeBob has some like different manufacturing times where one person will say this is not legit, this is legit. You know, like, just based on how the box, how the pop looks. But there are different years of manufacturing, so that's hard when it's over several years.
Yes, if you want to go to
1 year, and that's
if you want to go to another level, like that Ghost Rider that I showed off in our video, which I think with the, you know, that one, not only was the fake that I had, you know, obviously a fake, but the Warner Brothers on the bottom of that box only came 1 year. After that, I think it was switched over to Marvel. But if you don't know that, like, so there's different kinds of, like, the fake that I has the Warner Brother, but it was a 2014 JJL sticker. So that's how you knew that one was the fake. The 2013 is supposed to have the WB on the bottom. Like, when you start getting into that level, and some of these fakes are to that level, like, you would never know. Like, I don't know everything. It's impossible to know.
No one knows everything.
The best fakes out there that I've seen, and there's only like one way really to tell. Like, if you look at boxes and compare boxes, it's hard. Is that Freddy Funko as Pennywise? It's like, there's some really well done.
They're almost perfect, but like, they are the ones that are perfect. A little don't have the sticker on the bottom. The ones that are almost
have
perfect,
a little something wrong with it.
Yeah,
and it's crazy. This is another one that I know has been faked a lot too. I don't believe this one actually is fake. This is out of box Elvis here, but it's hard. Like, this one is also that early manufacturing where everything's not perfect as well too. So there are like the older Funko ones like this that are just like, it's really hard to compare. But I mean, sometimes you can feel the plastic, you need the real one to compare to. Like, a box is easy. Like, when you feel like their boxes are wrong, like, there's some that are so easy, but other ones, like you said, you get it, especially if it's in a protector, you don't take it out, all these kind of things add up. A lot of people can get caught in it, and who knows, we might get caught. All of us might send it out.
I'll be 100% honest with you. If Michael didn't say something, those like, especially now we're at a point where when we're not keeping something, it goes straight on our table, straight to Whatnot, straight to our mystery boxes, whatever. If he wouldn't have said anything, I would have probably never looked at that pop again. You know what I mean? And yes, that's what drives me bananas, is like, that could have been, now I'm just perpetuating that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it would have been, man, it would have been shame on me, because if somebody else would have got that in their hands, now I'm out that money, because I would have refunded their money instantaneously if they brought that to my attention, because I would have felt absolutely horrible. So, luckily it worked out the way that it did. I have to, and again, I get too trusting. I'm just very trusting with people, that people are doing their due diligence and doing the right thing, when really at the end of the day, you got to be responsible for what you have. And it's hard, man. It's super hard. We've been doing this for a long time now, but there's still things that I see, because I belong to all the, fake or not Funko groups. And there's times that I'm like, nope, this one is definitely legit. This is the one that's legit. And then I see 15 things that I miss. I'm like, holy crap, I'm not very observant. Like, I didn't notice any of this stuff.
I mean, so I know you guys sing the praises of Pop King Paul, and like, I personally have never gotten anything great in his mystery boxes. Like, the boxes that we got were fine, but the reason that we stopped buying from him was because of the problems with Jazzy and everything going on behind the scenes, and with them living together, and their top hits kind of bouncing back and forth between their boxes. It just goes to show you, like, buy from who you trust. And I didn't trust her. I didn't trust him. So that's why we don't buy from him. And I know the whole drama with them is that now they're separated, and he claimed that, like, their businesses were completely separate, even though they were dating or together. Joanna and I find that very hard to believe. Like, you're in the same house. Like, how would that just seems very bizarre.
You know what, though, they had a different arrangement. I don't think most of the, like, there was stuff that I think flowed through her, but she also had a business partner that I don't think ever, and I think I've said it too. Listen, and I'll go on record, I 100% like have, and again, does this mean that at some point, like, could a fake flow through? I think that Pop King Paul has been doing it long enough. He knows, not like, he would be the first person I would contact, and you, John, as well. I would contact you as well, but he would be the first person I contact to find out about fakes. I have 100% confidence. I have no issue with it. Talking about sharing top hits, I've always, like, not always, but I see a lot of the top hits. I've never questioned that with them. You may have, and that's the. You're right to question whatever.
Yeah, I've never seen like an issue with him or heard about an issue with a fake, but I've questioned
whether top hits were not me. Flowing. I mean, not me personally, but yeah,
But regardless, at the end of the day,
you do have to buy where you trust.
Yeah, you have to buy it from who you trust, and I feel like it's easier to do your method, Vince, where you're just like, hey, I'm going to trust that this person has done their due diligence and that they're not going to take my money and run. When the sad fact of the reality is most people are just going to take your money and run. And it's mystery boxes, Macari. I know who just mentioned Macari. Oh, Wayne said he found this pop of Macari. Macari, unfortunately, now is flooded with fakes. eBay has a lot
Macari's
of fakes.
bad. Yeah, Macari's
you have to be extremely careful with who you buy from on any platform, even including Whatnot. Like, that's why people always say, like, oh, YouTubers are the ones who are succeeding on Whatnot. It's because we have the most to lose. If I sell something to someone and it's questionable, well, they're going to come blow up my channel. They're going to come blow up the comments section of my video. Like, Joanna and I spend so much time looking over every single pop. And even if something is not clearly fake, it's questionable, we don't even sell it. We have 2 bins in our garage full of fake / questionable pops that we will not sell. So when we say buy from who you trust, like, if you trust somebody, go buy from them. If there's somebody that has a shady or questionable reputation, or you've heard some bad dealings with them, don't buy from them. And it's not just to say, like, oh, don't give them support and give us support. Like, give the people support. Like, go buy one of Funko 401's mystery boxes. He's the one putting in all this time and energy and effort into the mystery box community here on YouTube. And then on top of that, he's putting together good mystery boxes. Like, we got to support the people here in our community that are doing the work and taking the time. And maybe eventually that will flush out all the people who are just in this to take our money and don't care about us.
I don't know if we'll ever flush them all out. Listen, anywhere
we're going to come and go too. I think that's
sure.
the problem.
Listen, anywhere that there's money to be made, you're going to find a corrupt part of it. It's just, unfortunately, it's just part of it. No matter where you go, anywhere that there's money to be made, it turns people into bad apples, unfortunately. And, money will bring out the worst in people at times. And to be able to turn a profit, sometimes you're doing questionable business dealings and obtaining stuff in weird ways and that kind of thing. But unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast. It does, I just seen the comment about all the drama about foreign choice, but I'll be honest with you, I've seen people get in arguments over, a piece of fruit at the fruit market. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, things it can get crazy at times.
There's drama because we're passionate about this. That's why there's drama. And then you take people that are passionate about something.
There's money.
And there's money. Yes, to be passion and money. And then you throw in some bad eggs.
And now we have a lot of drama.
So you guys know I like to do a lot of internet research on people when I find out things, and I like to dig.
You are the master of that.
I can dig.
We don't call you professor for no reason.
But I'm curious, though. Like, I saw mention Funky Bop was talking about his store or something like that. Does he have a physical store? I can't find a Funky Bop store, but I don't know if he has like a flea market stand or flea market. Like, there's nothing on his website about like, come visit our location or website or anything like that. It could be partnered with a different store or anything like that. I was just curious if anyone knows that there's a physical store, so someone, if they're in that area, could go visit and check out and see what there's there. I just was curious if anyone had any idea, because that's a whole like different situation too. If there's a store now physically selling these as well too. I mean, we've all seen really, really bad fakes at the flea market and stuff like that, like potentially like on purpose. Yeah, on purpose. Whatever, Marvel box with a Batman inside kind of fake. Like you got all kinds of great stuff out there, which is whatever. People know that though. When you start hearing about grails being out there and everyone's cautious. Like, I know at any kind of pop show I've been to, people like go around and like sometimes if you like you're iffy about buying something, they might ask someone else to help verify it. Or do you have another one of these so I can check it against? Do you have this so we can compare them side by side? Because like we've all talked about, there's some really good ones that are out there and those kind of things. But I think also, I just like the biggest thing today for me, I think I've learned from this whole situation is it's about customer service. I've had some great customer service, whether it be Ralphie, Smy, $7 a pop, whether it be Pop King Paul, whether it be some other whatnots like Fugitive and stuff like that. Everyone has made mistakes or had something happen, but every one of those people have rectified their mistakes. And I don't think it's just because I'm Professor Josh or
no, I don't think
I think it might help that I buy from people often. And I mean, you treat your customers right. Like if someone buys thousands of dollars of stuff from you, you're going to treat them maybe a little extra too, because you want to keep them as a customer. And they're not trying to pull a scam over on you, because there's customers that pull scams over on people all the time as well too. eBay. That's why I only stayed really on Whatnot. Like I kind of stay off some of the other marketplaces because there are a lot of other issues that happen back and forth between some of the marketplaces, especially with bigger grails and things like that. And it's always interesting to kind of like see what happens and I also like, I don't know. It's also but other people have reached out to these people and they made things right as well too. I've talked to plenty of people in the community. They said, yeah, this person, because I told them, I like reach out to them, because people have asked me before, like I had a problem with this box or this happened. I said, did you reach out to them? Like, reach out to them. They're really cool. They'll get back to you. That kind of things. And it's especially, you have to realize a lot of these businesses we're buying from are businesses of 1 to 3 people.
Yeah.
They're not businesses. A lot of times they're one. Like I don't know if there's a team or it's just the one person, at things. But most of these companies are one. Maybe their spouse helps out. Maybe their cousin or aunt or whoever helps them every once in a while, kind of thing. But it's not a whole corporation. It's not multiple things like, say, a Brad's in Las Vegas, right? They have multiple stores. It's multiple people. It's all kinds of things. Say it's a Chalice. They have multiple stores, things like that. They're a little different. When you reach out to a lot of these people that we work with, like especially that sell mystery boxes or work with one-on-one with and things like that, they're one person sometimes. Maybe they're a couple. So it does them, it's not just someone, it's their business. And you have to treat it as your business. You are the owner of it. You're not a 15-year-old, 18-year-old employee that just working for them and answering a question or whatever, man. What are you talking about? I don't care. Like you are you
got to stand behind it.
So there's a few things in the chat that I wanted to address just before we lose them, because everybody's dropping some great stuff in the chat. So Pops Up NYC, if you guys don't know Joe, he has a channel now, same name, Pops Up NYC. He's got this shiny new logo too, which I absolutely love. He is somebody that I actually met in person through flea markets and toy shows and everything, and he's a great example of somebody who I 100% trust, because he's going to these shows. He's seeing, somebody else brought up they saw a lot of fakes at C2E2, which is a huge bummer. That's another issue. But he's somebody in their community Pops Up that you can buy from, and you know that his stuff is legit because A, he's a collector, B, now he's a YouTuber, and he's like boots on the ground, not even talking at these big cons. Like, I feel like a majority of Funko Pop sales are happening every single weekend at these smaller events. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out. In regards to the person who said they saw a lot of stuff that was fake at C2E2, I hear you, Tommy. That's got to be one of the most disheartening things. And I'm so sorry that you saw all those fake pops. That is very common, unfortunately, even at these big shows like San Diego, like New York. You're going to see a lot of booths with fake pops. Why? Because people are just going to walk up. They're like, oh, I like that Batman. They're going to buy it, and then they're going to leave. And there's no opportunity. I mean, unless you remember the booth's name and they have social media or, email, like, you got to be careful at cons. You really have to, because you can get burned and not even have the opportunity to get your money back in any form or fashion. And then the third thing that I just wanted to address really quick before we lose it is, where's my bounty hunter guy? He had a great comment, which is really the heart of the issue here. Oh, he said, Corey, he said, it just stinks we can't fully enjoy any hobby because of knockoffs and bootleggers. We need bounty hunters. I know a guy. And that is a bummer. I still think there's plenty to be enjoyed in this hobby. You unfortunately just have to have your guard up a little bit. And at least we do have a community that's looking out for one another to where we can help each other, hopefully not get burned and not lose money.
Agreed.
I like, Mystery Grail is great, for low end, if you have a low budget, low end mystery boxes, if you're okay with low risk and not, not shelling out a lot of money, you're probably not going to get, anything super valuable, but all their pops do come in protectors, which is great. They got the little scratch cards and stuff. So we've discussed Mystery Grail in depth here on the channel.
Yeah.
Everything.
If they made just a couple tweaks, I think that they could be really good. I won't get into my whole discussion on Mystery Grail right now. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking. I'm just saying to make a better mystery box, not like anything, because they're super. They would definitely be another company I would feel very comfortable and 100%. You don't see us open a lot of boxes just because I don't really love the way they put their boxes together. Really, that's the only reason why we don't. And I don't need a lot of.
If they raise their prices, hear me out on this. If they raise their prices from $15 to, let's say, 25 or 30, cut the runs by like 25%. So instead of doing like,
you got to put more hits in though. The value is just
no. I know. I'm getting to it. Like, you do like 200 boxes instead of your 1,000 boxes, and then like put in multiple $50 pops, couple $100 pops. Maybe the top hit. The top hit doesn't need to be a $1,500 pop. Do the top hit as like a $200 pop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give more people opportunities to win.
A lot.
They've cut them.
Look at them. The runs are like down there now, like 250 to 500, but still, it is the fun
for weeks though.
Low risk. box. It is a totally like low risk. Hey, and if you want $15, I think my biggest thing is like when you buy 4, you're paying 4 times the shipping, which I know isn't the cost, and that's my biggest gripe. Like I that's why I love Whatnot with their shipping prices. Other than like Funko Shop where I can spend $60 and get free, or other like some I have to say, so many sites out there, I'll spend the extra $20, $30 if I'm buying $80 worth of stuff. I'll spend $20 or $30 if they have $100 shipping is free. Because I'd rather not pay for shipping and get a couple extra things. You know, it's like sometimes the shipping costs really can make or break. I was going to buy the Fluffy Pop. I went on there. It was $14.99 for the pop. They hadn't raised the price yet. Exclusive. Hey, not bad. But it was $14.09 to ship it.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't. And I try. Let me add 2. Let me add 3 or 4 because I think you could add up to 4 and see what the price. No, it just went up like $18, $24, $28 to ship 4 pops. There's no way.
I don't think they have their.
There's no way. Like you have your you have whatever your shop.
Try to skim off the top with shipping. Like shipping is shipping. Like just don't mark it up just to try to get another $5.
Or figure out how you have to like change it a little bit to make it a better like. Because what you're doing is putting everything at this. Well, when you put it all together, you're just letting it automatically calculate that and what it is, and it like really can throw off. I don't know. Whatnot has the best probably shipping rates overall for anything. Just if you buy 4 things, like better shipping rate than we can buy, and send something out to someone for something like that.
So I think in conclusion, just in regards to kind of summing up our mystery box discussion and everything that's happened in the last few days, I think there's 2 things that I would recommend. Like if you guys have any more recommendations, obviously throw them up there. But the biggest thing I think having, YouTubers and people that open mystery box, on their mystery boxes on their channels is use the resource to your advantage. So if you're thinking of buying a mystery box from any company, you can literally search it into YouTube and go watch a Pop and Duo video, go watch a Funko 411 video, like see what they're
like the way opening. That's a good idea, John.
Yeah, like see what we're pulling. Generally speaking, if it's something that like, oh, that was a good box, they got a few dollars over value. Keep in mind, like you are not going to get that exact box with those exact pops. But if you click on a random video and you're like, wow, they lost money and I don't like what they pulled, well, then you probably shouldn't buy from that company because that could be the experience that you're going to have. The other resource that I would like to offer up to anybody, and I do want to shout out a couple people here. There's been a few people that signed up for our Patreon over the last week, and I think it's just phenomenal, and I'm really grateful for the support. But we have 3 amazing group chats, and in these group chats, we have over 200 people, and this is the kind of thing that is regularly discussed. And you can ask in the group chat, as a channel member or a Patreon member, like, hey, I'm thinking about buying from this company. Has anybody had an experience with them before? And I'm sure a handful of people, if they've had dealings with that company, they'll give you their honest feedback. It's one of the reasons why, honest feedback is really such a key piece of information in today's society. What do we all do when we go buy something on Amazon? Or I hope you still do this. Like you check the reviews, you see like what rating out of 5 stars does this product have? Is it something that, I need? And do these reviews line up with something that, I think I'm going to be able to use and effectively use based on these reviews? So use the community, use YouTube. You got all these resources like before you pull the trigger on it.
I think also, it's great to. I make sure I always put even if it's not in the title. Sometimes it's not always in the title. I always put it in the description, the company's name we bought the boxes from, because I want people to be able to search. So if you search whatever name it is, you can find like who bought from Funky Bop. Watch their videos, not just us. There's other people out there, and who bought from Pop King Paul, who bought from Smy World, who bought from, Boomloo, and all these kind of things. If you watch a couple of the videos, you kind of get a sense of like how it is. And even, even if it's like, okay, this is okay. And this is, they hit something great. watch another video where they didn't hit something great, maybe, and like that kind of thing. Because it could be back and forth, but then you can set your expectations too. Because I mean, we all kind of have sometimes expectations. I'm going to buy a box from this company, or maybe we all talk about like, hey, let's buy this for whatever we're going to open or do something together, collaborate together, or talk with someone else. We all kind of have expectations going up front. Oh, we know what we kind of are going to get from this company, or we know what to expect by now, that kind of thing. Or we try a new company and don't know what to expect. And then, and then it can be a great thing as well too, or someone else. So, it's that kind of thing out there. I think really, without several of our different channels, without all of our channels, without a couple other people that are pretty frequent mystery box openers, and then even people that have just started doing it in the last year or so, it also gives you a sense. Like, mystery boxes can be fun, right? And if you don't have the money to spend on them, don't buy them. We always kind of like clarify that. Like, if you don't have it's a fun. It's entertainment. It's entertainment for us. Some people just like watching our videos because they don't like buying mystery boxes. I hear that often. Like, I hate buying mystery boxes, but you know what? I'll watch you open it and take a chance, and I can live through your excitement or disappointment or silly quirks that you're gonna say about whatever you got or whatever you're gonna do, and that's okay. And I think that's the way to do it. There's plenty of stuff out there, like cards, Vince. I would hate to get into cards right now because I see the prices. I know the prices.
Yeah, I can't go back into cards. I can't do it,
especially at the prices now they're going for. But hey, if there's something I want, I might just go buy it. Like, oh, I really like that player, or I'd love to have that card, or something like that. I might go search and find it and buy it, that kind of thing. And I think the same, with Funko Pops. If you have something you just want, go for it. If there's something you're trying for that you'll never buy, I know we've all pulled stuff from a box that we probably would have never bought on our own, but we got lucky enough to pull it for one.
Oh, time. that's 100% sure.
That's why we do it. That's why we open them.
I think in today's, like, I see Ace's comment, and listen, you're not far off with a lot of boxes. Now, you guys can, since we do the promotion thing every once in a while, go check out our year-end review. I don't know if Funky Bob might have been on it. Maybe they made her crack their top 5.
That would be ironic.
It could have happened. With that being said, really, for the most part, like the good companies, I'm talking Pop King Paul, Boom Loot, which I'm considering good companies. We got probably 25 to 30% over value. When you're talking 25 to 30, and listen, I got big sample sizes. Like Boom Loot, I think we opened around 40 boxes last year. Pop King Paul, we opened around 40 boxes last year. So you're talking, that's a good sample size of stuff. If you're building a collection and you want to have a good time, they are a fun way to build, especially if you don't, like me and Bree. Unfortunately, we've gotten to a point, I don't know if it's unfortunate or whatever, we've gotten to the point where we have a lot of stuff, and now we pull stuff that's like really multiples of multiples. We probably shouldn't be opening as many mystery boxes as we do, but we do have fun with it still. And yes, because we're YouTubers, let's put it that way, we have a way to get rid of them, and not at a profit. If you guys bought from our last mystery box run, we did the exact same thing that we liked about the mystery boxes we buy. We put in, I think our boxes were at a minimum of 25% overvalue, or 20%. Maybe I did 20%. I tried to do 25%, but I didn't want to completely lose money on it because we're not buying these at 50% or 40% or 30% like some of the mystery box companies do. But I think it's important to have that value, because if there's not that value there, and if you guys remember back in the day when we first started doing this back in 2020, 2021, 2022 even, no boxes were guaranteed values. Basically none. No. You would literally lose money on 70%. Like 7 out of 10 boxes that we open, go back and check those videos out. We lost money every single time. Now we make big quotations here. We make money on every box that we open. We still lose because you're going to give 13% to Whatnot or eBay or any of these places. You still had to pay the shipping. Like Ace said, you had to get the shipping here, which, that's going to be $10 to $12 still got to package all this stuff up and send it out. It's almost impossible to make money doing this, but you can have a good hobby. If you're newer, it's a fun way to build up a collection a little bit, getting maybe something that, like John or Josh said, I've got plenty of examples of pops I would 100% never have in our collection because we bought mystery boxes. But at the same time, it's a lot of work to have to get rid of them, to get the ones that are duplicates and do all that kind of thing. We do it because we still have fun. I still like being a part of this community. And it's really why we still open mystery boxes, because in today's world and where we're at now with our collecting, we probably don't need to do it. But I think it's a fun way to still kind of be connected to all of you guys and still, still do that kind of thing. So,
all right, there's a bunch of stuff we have to address in the chat.
Go for
all
it.
right. First thing, Colin, so I understand what you're saying mentally. Unfortunately, you kind of have to separate the shipping costs. Like, shipping is shipping. So if you're buying a $50 mystery box, even if it's $50 guaranteed, let's say you get $51. But if you're saying like, hey, I'm actually negative $12 because it was like, $13 for shipping, can't really look at it that. I know, I get what you're saying.
Listen, Michael does it. When Michael does his values on his mystery boxes, he counts the shipping in. You can count it in if you want to.
I don't think it should be counted in.
I'm with you because, listen, if you bought them off eBay, you're going to have to pay shipping anyway.
You're going to have to pay shipping. If you just bought the pop outright, you're still going to have to pay shipping.
I would say also most of the companies that we buy from, majority of time, are pretty fair with their shipping costs. Like, I don't find it exuberant. And also, to offset that a little bit too, if I'm allowed to buy multiple at one time, example Boom Loot, I'll typically buy more than one at one time because it will actually save me money in shipping buying multiple at one time.
Basu, I wish they would understand that we are YouTubers and send us some of these hits. Like, what the heck? We opened 40 boxes, and I'm not even exaggerating. It was probably like 38 boxes from Boom Loot last year. We hit one top hit. Pop King Paul, I think we only got one top hit from them, and we bought like 46 boxes or something like that. And I think we got a top hit from Smile World, and we only bought, I bought pretty much every single run, but they did smaller runs. And I think why we maybe got a top, I think we pulled 3 top hits all of last year was probably our worst year ever. We pulled only 3 top hits. So I think that they don't have a clue who we are. Quite honestly, I don't think anybody knows.
That's why I was laughing at Bosco's comment, because if they do know who we are, or they don't know who we are
at all,
it doesn't matter, because we didn't pull anything good last year. I think we got like 1 or 2 cool pops.
Legit, guys, I'm not. Yeah, when you said
how much we open, the odds are there. Like, the odds. Like, you have to look at it this way. People are like, oh, I'm like, have you watched our 30 other videos where we didn't pull a top hit? Like,
we opened, I think, over 130 boxes last year. And I think that maybe we had 3 top hits. I don't even know if we did that well. We got some second place, third place, top row stuff every once in a while. But no, I wish they'd get on that train.
But one run, right, Vince?
What was that?
Like, a lot of times you buy multiple boxes from one run.
We've bought 4. We've bought 4 boxes from certain runs.
Yeah.
And Boom Loot usually only lets you buy 2, but did we buy 2? Almost every single time we like a Boom Loot box, or they're in our price range, because they do all those $460 boxes that unfortunately we can't get involved with. But other than that, for the most part, I always buy 2 boxes from Boom Loot because they're fantastic. And Pop King Paul, if it's a run that we're like moderately interested in, we'll almost always get 2. Like the Disney ones, we'll get at least 4 typically. So yeah, we've bought multiples and multiples, and it's rough. It's rough going.
So Corey says, here's a question. If you didn't make money on YouTube, would you still buy them? For us, that would, I won't speak for you guys, but for me and Joanna,
make money. You can make money doing this on YouTube.
It's not much money. Number one.
Wait a minute, what?
Okay, so if you want to get like a specific grail in your collection or a pop that you're going after, it is 1000% far more effective to just save up the money and hunt for the pop individually than to buy mystery boxes. We would 100% not buy mystery boxes. Like, if we weren't doing videos on them, I bought mystery boxes for myself, like prior to us having a channel, and I didn't pull anything. I didn't
Yeah.
feel like anything I wanted.
And listen, Cora, I'll give you a little behind the scenes insight on this. Like for one of our videos, like, and we do pretty average, like whatever. We get about the same views, almost like right down to it. You know, I don't think we're making $30 in a video. We're typically making way under that. So the money that I'll use the quotations again, the money that we're making on YouTube, we typically don't pay for a quarter of. You guys see what the boxes we bought. Typically our cheapest box is around $70. We're not paying for half of it with our videos that we do. So yeah, it's definitely not making money.
And that doesn't include recording the video, time taking the.
Listen, John paid for this. Me and Josh don't have the money. Thank God John is our big YouTuber here. He could still pay for StreamYard.
No, the only reason that we can pay for StreamYard is because of our Patreon program. We use that. So thank you to
Listen, our Patreon program, people have been dropping out left and right. I cannot afford StreamYard anymore. It is way past our financial capabilities. That's why we have to go to Restream. We have to. Because if I don't do that, I'm gonna have to pirate it. Because
enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen, because the next 2 weeks are going to be blurry. So only on our channel is it not blurry.
That's why I'm not blurry. Wouldn't that be something if we go to next week and I'm blurry?
No, but again? Josh and I are blurry on the Restream. The Restream is terrible.
No, I'm fine on the Restream.
Oh, it's for me. But Joanna was watching on her phone too. She said it looked terrible. Anyway,
Mike, we don't count the airfare in our house. We actually don't count the food either.
Well,
we just count the ticket. It's really cheap to go to Disney.
For Funko 401, I wouldn't know what it's like to go to Disney, so I can't really relate to this. This dream of yours that you're posting.
I pretend like the flights don't cost anything, and I pretend the hotel doesn't cost anything. I pretend all that stuff.
I would say this though, like Michael, I would question you this, since you do make mystery boxes. Are you factoring in the cost of shipping into people's overall value? Are you making your boxes that far over value?
I bet you he is.
With the shipping included. If you are, that's impressive. But at the same time, I don't think it's fair to include the shipping, because how else are you going to get the items to a person? One. And you have to pay shipping on everything else that you want shipped to your home. So I don't know. I don't think it's fair on the company or the person putting the boxes together to have to say, because that was that whole debacle with Mystery Girl. Remember, everybody's like, oh, it's $15 and then $4 shipping. Like $4 shipping for one pop is a steal, number one. But like, you have to get everything you want in life shipped to your house. So you're going to blame the postal service because you're not getting as much value for your pops?
Well, everyone's used to Amazon and paying for the membership and not realizing it also helps pay for the all the stuff you're shipping and all the other things that go along with that. But one of the things I did check Mr. Grail. I just put 4 Mr. Grail boxes in my shipping in my account and to check out to look how much it came to, and it came out to $13.50. So they finally fixed it.
So they fixed it. It's not $16 anymore.
It used to be $4 every box, so it used to be $16 no matter what. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. They finally fixed it for.
I'll be honest. We lost the mystery box company that we're gonna buy from. I might go back to Mystery Grail a little bit more.
There's some cool other stuff. Like one thing I like about Mystery Grail they're doing now is like other stuff outside.
Yeah,
the box.
They've done the slabs,
like the comic slabs and card slabs and like Pokemon stuff and like Nintendo cartridges and stuff like that now and things. So all kinds of cool different stuff. I like that. I like they mixed it up now for other people that might want things.
Yeah, and they 100% don't know who we are. So like we're good to buy from there.
Well, if you factor in the shipping, I mean, good on you. That's the first time I've ever heard of anyone doing that. But yeah, I mean, good on you. I think I still stand by. I just don't think if you're looking at the contents of the box as a whole and you're trying to see what the value of the contents of the box, you should just be looking at the contents, regardless of the method that it was, shipped to you.
I guess bought it from overseas and spent $50 for shipping. Are you gonna like?
Well, yeah. I mean, you'd have to pay the cost of getting it from a very far away location. But is that on the company? Is that the UK company's fault that they want that their products and mystery boxes are so good that they're attracting customers in the United States? Like if I'm a United States customer, I'm going to reach out to that company and be like, hey, I'm only comfortable with paying $7 shipping because that's what I pay here in the US. I'm not paying your $35 shipping. They're going to tell you to kick rocks and be like, we're fine. We'll just stick with our UK customers. We don't need you US customers.
Yeah, I think it's a debate that will rage on for the centuries, to be honest. I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where I think people go both ways. I've heard it all the time. I've seen people include it and not include it. Like I wish Boom wasn't in California because the shipping is outrageous to us every time that we order something. But you know what? It's worth it to me.
I think I'm
you're probably even farther. But I'll keep doing it.
Anyway, so I think we beat the mystery box topic.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
We only have a couple minutes left here, so briefly I wanted to jump into
the limited.
I know the limited information that I can share with you guys regarding sodas. So from what we know, sodas are in fact coming back. I know there's a lot of people out there who are putting out different information. Right now, it is a mystery as to what they're going to come back as. I've heard from our various sources that Funko removed the soda tab on Funko's website because apparently they are going to be bringing them back potentially under a different name. It seems like the CEO of Funko, Cynthia, whatever her name is, she hasn't come out and really, introduced herself. So I don't remember her name off the top of my head. But apparently it seems like she wants to do a lot of things differently than Mike Becker and Brian Mariotti in the previous regime. We see that all the time with, different administrations and politics. When they come in, they like to clean house and start things over. It also is apparent that they want to rename Fun Days. So they're still going to have a Fun Days party this summer, but they're going to be calling it something else. So be on the lookout for that as well. In regards to sodas, though, we did hear some good things. The good things that I can share with you is that apparently 3 liters are going away, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They were overpriced to begin with. They didn't sell well. Seems like soda coolers are also going away. Once again, evidently so, even though some of us liked them. The Turtles one, Scooby-Doo one did very well. The other ones did not. As you guys saw, Funko kept clearancing them out over and over and over and over again. The other thing that we're going to be getting is we are going to be getting single individual releases, which I think we can all agree is the best way moving forward. But at earliest, we could be seeing them is not for a while. So we do have a date that was shared with us, but I'm not going to share that date just because we're not at liberty to do so.
Does it end with a 5 or does it end with a 6?
TBD,
And we're going to introduce Funko Noodles to you guys. Funko Noodles. They're coming next.
But the other piece of good news that once again we kind of broke down and saw from the sales report that we had from Funko in 2024 was that they're going heavy into blind box packaging. So our sources have also told us that we should expect a lot of this new soda product in limited form, hopefully with some sort of chase. Who knows? They might not even call it chase. They might, because, chase is still a word that's frequently used with pops and everything. So we could be seeing a lot of it in 2026, at some point. So
I'd be curious. You know what? That all makes me super nervous, though.
Why is that?
Is it going to be? I mean, are we looking at just different packaging, or are the figures going to be different? Because if they don't fit in, you know what I'm saying? If the figures aren't the same,
it could be a completely different.
Kind of not the same to me at all.
It could be completely different, but
yeah, which, man, that's going to be.
But here's the thing. What we've been told is that they're still deeming them sodas, even though it might not. So what I'm thinking is it's still going to be soda figures. They might just call them something else for the sake of calling them something else, but they're still going to be continuous in the soda line.
That's all that I'm saying. I hope that the style stays the same. Like I could put them next to all my Masters of the Universe if they put out a couple more. If the Scooby,
you're gonna make them those mini cans like you get now.
Well, a big problem was finding the manufacturer for the materials of the cans. Yeah. The aluminum itself has gone up, and obviously the soda can that Funko made the previous sodas on, it's not pure aluminum, it's a mixture of items, but aluminum is an ingredient in the formatting of the packaging. So that cost went up, and that's why Funko had to raise their prices on sodas, if you guys remember, from 12 to 15, then to 18 and everything. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, Funko's going hard with biddies. They're going hard with, it sounds like they're going to be bringing back mystery minis in full force because of the blind box packaging and everything. They want to expand that market by some crazy 450% 6% over the next 10 years or whatever that crazy number was. So I think sodas will be coming back. They just might not be called sodas per se. And that could simply just be a dig at Mike Becker because he and Brian Mariotti love sodas so much. And it seems like Funko definitely wants to go in a direction where people don't remember Mike Becker and Brian Mariotti. So I think it's sad. I kind of hope they still call it Fun Days this summer, to be honest. Regardless of the soda thing, I hope they still call it Fun Days because the Fun Days name itself goes back all the way to the early days of Funko. It's not just like a Mike Becker and Brian Mariotti thing. But we'll see. Funko's definitely making changes, and
it's definitely a Mike. I mean, it's a Mike Becker thing. I mean, that's before Brian Mariotti. Fun Days was Mike Becker. That's
no, of course. But
I mean, it's his thing. Definitely.
It's his thing. I get it, but like it's a symbol of the company. It's not just like it's not his company anymore. Like, do you have to really erase everything that he did? You know?
I don't think they felt like that when he sold the company and others took it over. But I don't know. You just gotta. Hopefully, like you said, sodas come back in a somewhat decent form. I'd love to, like, even if they made them more, like people talked about ultra rares. I saw several people commented on my post today. I saw like that were talking about it because I've seen too many videos that didn't mention the report and kind of the blind box stuff and that coming out. Top Pops did mention at the end of his video, which was nice. Other people hadn't, and some people didn't even know about it. That it wasn't like shown in the report, at least sodas or other forms. So I think, reintroducing means that they're reintroducing, like you said, John, something different. I hope it's not too different where they don't fit the collections, because
that's my point.
I don't know if that would hinder people from buying them or not. Then it's a totally new product.
Well, then you would just have a new audience essentially, because then the people who collected them before, you're essentially either starting over or you're continuing the line. Like they have to pick one. They have to figure it out and pick one, and they have to do it in a way that's, I think it would be smart just to continue the line so you don't upset your existing customer base already.
Or reproduce, like, okay, we already made a Batman. Now we're going to make another Batman again, or a Martian Manhunter, or like then they're going to then people are going to be like, I don't need another one. Like I already had one.
Yeah, I think that could get bad. That could get bad if they. Yeah. I agree. If they change, I don't know. I would not like them to go to sodas just to go to sodas again. Like I want a continuation, or really it does me no good because you don't want to.
Or just go to a new blind box, whatever figure. I mean,
which is fine.
There's a million different blind box companies that are bigger blind boxes now. So they might go to something like this instead of a can, because every Pop Mart, all the Miniso, all these companies are going to blind boxes of this size that are $15 to $20, and this is the norm, and they're not in a can. So I could see a detailed figure going to this style and having a chase variant and stuff like that, or mystery in the boxes that are bigger than mystery minis. These are, that kind of detail.
I would like a continuation of the sodas and just put them in a paper box. I'm fine with that. Do you know what I'm saying? I would prefer them to do the exact soda figures that they've been doing for years, continue the line, don't put them in the cans anymore. Because if I had to make my choice, because if they go to something completely different, that's a different style, different size, or anything like that, really makes all my sodas.
You can make a cardboard box that looks like a soda can.
That's what I'm saying. Just do that, and I'm fine with it. Get rid of the cans and continue the line.
Yeah.
And change the name. I don't change the name if you want to change the name.
If you had to make a choice, had a.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that. A lot of good conversation tonight. I hope that everybody watching, we had a great crowd. I know some people probably came over for the drama, which is fine, but I hope that you guys took something away from it, to benefit yourself in your collecting journey. And, please share the news, share the knowledge with everybody. We're not trying to keep anything to ourselves. That's not the kind of community that we want to, to have here. We want to share the knowledge with everybody as much as possible. But Vince, we talked a lot about you. Any other companies you're going to be calling out on your channel in the upcoming weeks?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I plan on doing a lot of like real salacious stuff over the next couple weeks. I'm going to try to, really start to be as negative as possible. I feel like it would just give us a nice boost and whatever. No, I'll be honest with you. We don't really have anything planned. We've got boxes stacking up like crazy from people sending some amazing stuff. The charity auction is about a month and a half away. So just got to say thank you again for everybody that sent stuff over. Do we have to put up the office tour? Guys, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Like, we're halfway there already. I'll show you the other half this year, I promise. But it won't be this week, and it probably won't be next week, unfortunately. Really, I don't have anything to promote. I think we are going to do a whatnot show next Tuesday, which will be our first one in a while. We have to do like a live at some point because our mystery box did sell out. We did a little thing in there that if you got an anime pop, we said you got animated. So those people have now all contacted us. We got all of the recipients of those anime pops back. So we got to do the little raffle off for that. But what's the deadline for the buys? Thank you for asking, Alex. The deadline, we're saying May 1st, but I'll be honest, last year we took it up to the week before. If we could get it in by the second week of May, that's fine. We like to open just about everything on the channel, so it gives us time to kind of give you guys your due. So, other than that, we got some videos coming out this week. We haven't filmed anything. I think we're going to have a video still on Easter, and we'll probably release it on Easter, and then you guys can watch it on Monday after you're done spending time with your family. So everybody have a happy holiday. If you don't have work tomorrow, enjoy. I know I'll be working tomorrow, but enjoy the time off with friends and family this weekend. And we'll see you guys next week.
Forgot it was Easter weekend.
Yeah, it's here already.
Creeps up on you. Pipsqueak, 3 years. Let's go, baby. That's amazing. Thank you so much for being a channel member now for 36 months. That's incredible. Josh, what do you got?
So we have to unbox our WonderCon stuff, both from the Funko shop and from some whatnot auctions we got in or other stuff. We also have Pop King Paul. Oh, actually, no. We have some autographs to unbox. So I wanted to do the autograph video next week, a bunch of autographs and the autograph mystery box as well to unbox. So we got that, WonderCon stuff. We do have our rescheduled auction. I wasn't feeling great last night, so I rescheduled for next Wednesday as kind of our fun, like, garage sale kind of auction where we have a bunch of different things. And I'll have some, like, winner's choice stuff. We have some stuff that we put in there, all kinds of good stuff like that. And then we will be going to, I know, our tiny little Star Wars auction coming up on the next Wednesday after that for our monthly themed auction. So we're doing a monthly themed auction. You'll see those each month. So if you haven't gone over there to bookmark it, I would appreciate it because we planned out the themes for the next several months. So I think it's kind of fun. Trying to make it fun, a little different.
Nice. So for those of you guys who waited this long, we still have 136 people in here, which is amazing. Would anybody like to see the Star Wars puck for May 4th?
Yeah, sure.
Figured it was appropriate with Star Wars Celebration and everything, but 2 weeks from today, believe it or not, is May 1st, which is going to be the second day, not the kickoff, because the kickoff for us will be April 30th on Encore, but 2 weeks from tonight will be the official start of our May the 4th Whatnot event, and you'll be able to pick up one of our exclusive May the 4th Star Wars pucks, heavily inspired by the theme of Andor and the Rebellion. So Joanna managed to get 5 great characters on there. Might not be able to see because the screen is a little tiny, but it's Director Krennic, Andor, K2SO, Jyn Erso, and a Death Trooper in the Rebel logo, which looks amazing. There's more details on it as well, but they're small and I'm sure the camera won't capture it. So we will have a limited number of these available for sale. And next 2 weeks, we're just going to be in full prep mode for that giant event. So we're pretty excited for that. I did have a video out on our Lego channel yesterday. So if you guys want to check out that, if you want to see the garage all illuminated, we officially have all the lights up and it's never been brighter in there. It's so cool. So thank you to everybody who's been supporting both our channels. It really means a lot. And we should have a battle video out at some point this weekend. Please spend some time with your families. We'll be traveling for Easter, going to spend some time with our family as well. And yeah, that's going to do it. So I hope you guys enjoy the stream. Everybody who catches it on replay, please smash that like button. As always, don't stop shooting until you score. And we'll see you guys very soon.
Night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.